What's the deal, baby? You already know it is the big boss. How bossed out K-Po through the door here to touch his boxes. So look, post-fight reaction, Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin. Let's talk about it. Anthony Joshua looked robotic to me. In spurts at times in this fight. His jab was money. I mean, he was landing that jab at will. I would have liked for him to build off that jab. You know what I mean? He did hurt Franklin to the body, I think in the second or the third round. But Franklin also hurt Joshua, right? Because Joshua kept going back in a straight line, and which had him lined up for that right of Jermaine Franklin's. You know what I mean? Jermaine Franklin tried to make it a rough and rugged fight for Anthony Joshua. He really just tried to make him quit, break his will, you know, because he knew Anthony Joshua was kind of second-guessing himself. You could hear Jermaine Franklin, the coach, telling him, keep going, you know, and Jermaine Franklin even screamed at Anthony Joshua, you know. Anthony Joshua, to me, looked kind of timid, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, his jab was money, you know what I mean? He was throwing it, but to me, it wasn't like, I feel like Anthony Joshua's jab alone could have dropped that boy. He wasn't really throwing it with no conviction. You know, he was throwing it and it was bobbing dude head back, but he wasn't like, like power jab. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like he was just throwing it out there. And granted, I get it. That's Derrick James teaching. Derrick James teaches you to throw many different jabs. Joshua did throw some power jabs out there that made that boy Jermaine Franklin looked like he was doing the Fat Joe lean back dance. You know what I'm saying? The boy head was doing this. You know what I mean? But all I'm saying is at the end of the day, Joshua could have built off of that. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is this. Joshua throwing the jab, right? And at times, Franklin would counter the jab with it by either slipping, throwing the overhand right, or you know, catching it, coming inside, or whatever, right? So Joshua, when he land his jab, right, Franklin would kind of run in, right? Even if he don't land it, right? Let's say he was throwing his jab, which the time he didn't land the jab. He threw the jab, right? Franklin would slip it and come inside. So what I feel like Joshua could have did was step back. That uppercut was there. Now, granted, when they got in the clinch, he was throwing the uppercut and it was landing. But I feel like he could have knocked Buddy out if he would have did a step back and threw that uppercut. And then pivoted out after that. If dude still was on his feet after that, 2, 3, he would have been done. That's what I saw. You know what I mean? That left hook was there all night, in which Joshua threw it. He did. He used the jab, and then he'll throw the hook. You know? He did throw an overhand right, I think around 11, that hurt Jermaine Franklin, my bad. But then he let Jermaine Franklin get on the inside of him and hold him. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's the first fight him with Derrick James. If he continues to work with Derrick James after this fight, I think he should. He'll be able to get more confident and be able to do more. I feel like he left a lot of punches in that ring, in my opinion. Not saying he didn't give it his all. I'm just saying him second-guessing himself, he left a lot of work in that ring. He could have stopped that dude. With Anthony Joshua's power, I mean, when he did land punches, you saw them, how they affected Jermaine Franklin. I mean, dude head, I told you, was doing the Fat Joe. He was leaning back. You know what I'm saying? He was... That boy was leaning back like Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying? The boy head was doing this. You know what I mean? So, like I'm saying, at the end of the day, great with Anthony Joshua. What's next? I want Anthony Joshua I want him to fight another tough fighter. I don't want him to go into a mega fight yet. He got to get his confidence up. You know, I don't want him to... The problem with Anthony Joshua is... He's at that stage of his career where he's at a crossroads, right? If he getting there with Wilder right now, with how he fighting, I don't know if I'm telling you, because he was getting clipped and caught with that right. If Wilder land his right, it's done. You're finished. They casking you, bro. They putting you in a body bag. They toe tag you. Anthony Joshua got to work with Derrick James some more. Work on his feet work as far as getting out of the way of punches. Joshua did that a little bit in this fight. Kept his hard, kept his guard high, a little bit. You know what I mean? And he was catching some punches, but sometimes he was getting caught. You know what I mean? Jermaine Franklin did a good job disguising his work. But I say get him in there with another tough heavyweight. You know what I mean? Somebody that's going to push him and, help him continue to build that confidence up with Derrick James. It's a great man. Derrick James is a master teacher. So we'll see if Anthony Joshua continues to work with him. Jermaine Franklin, what I want to see from him. I want to see him fight again. Although let's just be real. He got beat up, but he showed me that, he's I'll say if I had to give him a grade fighter, he'll be like a B-level fighter, in my opinion. He did some great things in there. He showed a little bit of IQ. Although he lost, he showed some things. So I like, he's entertaining. I want to see him fight again. Maybe fight like Big Baby Miller, or the other one, the little young prospect that's with Top Rank. Maybe fight him. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see from Jermaine Franklin. Anthony Joshua could maybe get in there with Big Baby Miller. You know what I mean? Or Joe Joyce or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I think Joshua beat Dubois already. I don't know if they fought. Or did Joe Joyce or Dubois? I got to double check. But maybe Joshua, if they haven't fought, put Joshua in there with Dubois. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. I want to see Anthony Joshua kind of get away from Eddie Hearn, though. Because Eddie Hearn is not healthy for a fighter of Anthony Joshua's caliber who has been, in wars and who's, lost, fights. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua needs to sign with PBC or Errol Spence or something like that. And shout out to the person in the comment section who brought up they want to see Anthony Joshua sign the Man Down Promotions. I get people that credit on my channel. But I feel like Anthony Joshua should sign with PBC, Showtime, and, fight on there. You know what I mean? Or, or Top Rank, whatever. But get away from Eddie Hearn, because I feel like Eddie Hearn is not beneficial to Anthony Joshua. That's just my perspective, especially if you want to come over here in America and you want to fight and you want to make a name for yourself over here. You know what I mean? So we'll see, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section about Anthony Joshua's performance. Boss gone.